Hey everyone, Michael Coovadia here, and welcome to 2022. Now, in the very first video for this entire year, I decided to make a video speaking about short-term goals versus long-term success. Now, why did I decide to do this? Leading up to 2022, I heard so many people asking me, what are your plans for New Year's? What do you plan on doing on the 31st? And to be very honest with you, I had no plans in mind. I planned on working to actually help my business grow in 2022. But so many people were myopically focused on what they were going to do on one specific day that they forgot to set goals for themselves for the year ahead. And this is not just pertaining to one single day being the 31st of December 2021 or any day, right? It's as people live their lives. So what happens is somebody goes through, they go to their work, they go through to the gym, whatever they actually own, they live from Monday through to Friday, and then they start asking each other, what are your specific plans for the weekend, right? Or how do you plan on generating clients for the big boost that we're getting? Or what do you actually plan on doing in order to, take into account the new people that are going to be coming through to your business? But they never look long term. And this is the biggest problem in the fitness industry and in business in general. Most people fail to see the bigger picture and focus on short-term goals. Now, let me break that down to you a little easier to understand with an example before we move further and speak about it. Let's take Bob as an example. Bob wants to come through to the gym in January to bulk up, right? Bob's a very skinny kid. Now, Bob has two different options. At the end of the day, his goal is to gain muscle, to get jacked, and to really look good. So option number one Bob has is to use steroids, right? He'll get bigger, quicker, he'll be able to, look really great in the shortest period of time. But you and I both know, whether you have used steroids or not, that you cannot use that long term, right? There will come a point, be it a year, 2 years down the line, that you will run into health complications. You will run into problems with your body because you're doing something that isn't pertaining to the long run, right? It's focusing on short-term goals versus long-term results. Now let's take option number two, where Bob came through to the gym in the very beginning. He set himself up for success, right? So he knew that the road wasn't going to be easy, but he was committed. He had a purpose behind him. So he didn't just really want to look good. At the end of the day, he wanted to look good maybe because of the self-esteem it brought him, maybe because of the way it made him feel at work, whatever his reasons were, but there was purpose driving that goal, right? So now Bob set out on a plan. He planned the entire year, month by month, day by day, knowing exactly what he was going to do. Sure, at the end of the first year, he might not have the same results as the person that uses steroids, right? But long term, 20 or 30 years down the line, Bob's going to be the one that looks great. Bob's going to be the one that has a great body, and Bob's going to be the one that has great health, right? Whereas the other person that took option one and used the steroids wouldn't even be able to do it 30 or 40 years down the line and would have so many health complications, or probably be dead because they focused on short-term goals instead of long-term success. And this is exactly where fitness professionals in this industry battle as well. So, come New Year, we all know that the gyms, your fitness studios, your yoga studios, whatever you might own, are going to be crazy busy, right? So you don't actually focus on the year ahead. You think that your clients are going to stay with you for the longest period of time. And you and I both know, 90-day period, those clients drop out, right? And then you're stressed out. Now you're worrying again. Where am I going to get my clients from? How am I going to market? What am I going to do for the short term that's going to bring me results instantaneously? And that's what we focus on. And that's why your business doesn't grow. Now, take a different approach in mind. Take the approach of learning advertising, of learning how to take your business online, of learning how to economically, soundproof your business, should we say, so that you can withstand any economy. Whether you have clients coming into your business or not, you're digitally advertising. Whether you have clients coming into your business or not, you're focusing on the work that needs to be done. You're learning, you're continuously developing on a daily basis, not just yourself, but your business as well. How much further will you grow moving into the long run? Tremendously, because 5 or 10 years down the line, when 90% of all the other fitness professionals are falling out, you are going to be the one that has a successful business. You're going to be the one whose business has 10x, right? Even if it takes 5 or 10 years down the line, provided you put the constant effort in and you plan for long-term success instead of short-term goals. Now, to sum all this up, I've created a 6-point questionnaire for you that you should actually ask yourself. You should literally look at it, look at the goals that you've set for yourself for 2022 and moving forward, and then take into account what is it going to take to achieve that. So the very first question that I have in mind for you is, what would I need to do in order to achieve with my current limitations? Now, it's no secret, right? This is going to be the third year of the COVID pandemic striking the world. If you're one of the fitness professionals that is hidden under a rock waiting for the COVID pandemic to pass by, sadly, you're missing out in life. Sadly, you're missing out in growing your business. And quite frankly, you're being selfish. You're not helping the people that do need your help. They're desperately crying and begging for your help, but you cannot be found because you're waiting under this little rock for the COVID pandemic to pass, right? So you have to ask yourself the question, what can I do to achieve regardless of my current circumstances? Because there'll be COVID, there'll be money shortages, there'll be different economic activities that happen throughout your life and throughout the career that you actually live at this moment in time. But you continuously have to find a way to move forward. And that's what entrepreneurship is about, right? Finding a way to continuously move forward and break out of any situation at the end of the day. When you can do that, you will be extremely successful. Because if you're the type of individual who doesn't go out, who doesn't look for ways to move forward and continuously focuses on a problem, guess what you're going to find? You'll continuously run into problems. But when you focus on finding solutions, eventually you will find it regardless of how long it takes. So the most important question to start off looking at the goals you have for yourself is, how am I going to achieve my goals for the year 2022 with my current limitations? Take into account everything. It might not be COVID, it might be money shortages, or it could be your health, whatever it might be at this moment in time. Find a way to move forward, because when you can do that, you'll be extremely successful. Now, let's move on to question number 2. What skills would I need to have to achieve my goals? Now, in order to be able to achieve your skills, we're not speaking about talents, right? Talents you're born with, talents you have naturally at the end of the day, but skills get acquired over doing something repetitively year after year, day after day, like repetitions, going through to the gym. It becomes a skill being able to do a bicep curl, right? It's not talent, it's skill. It's where hard work meets doing something repetitively over and over and over again, and then you form a skill. Just like breathing. Breathing has become a skill for you, and that's why you're so efficient at breathing. Now, in order to be able to achieve your goals, you have to develop a new set of skills, and that's what we call a skill set, right? So you need to look at your goals, myopically look at them, and then focus in objectively on each and every single one of the goals that you have set out for yourself, and look at the skills that you're going to need to develop in order to be able to achieve those goals. So let's say, for example, you want to be a great digital marketer and you want to know how to digitally advertise your business as successfully as possible so that you can attract a torrential downpour of clients to your fitness business. Guess what you do? You go out and you learn copywriting. You go out and you go and practice copywriting, because so many times we get people coming through the Project X, right? Which is our flagship product, where we teach people how to build great online businesses. We teach people how to market their online businesses, and we teach them how to be successful in the rapidly changing world of great technology. And they go through our Facebook ad week, but they're not that efficient just yet with advertising. And then they say things like, Michael, you've been doing this for 6 years. This is why you're so successful. But guess what? When I started 6 years ago, I wasn't where I am today. It took repetition, and it took hard amounts of work in order to develop the skill set of being a great digital marketer, right? So the skill set of copywriting, the skill set of knowing how to advertise on Facebook, how to advertise on Google, that comes with hard work coupled in with repetition. So this is the most important thing that you need to ask yourself after you know how you're going to move past your limitations. What skill set am I going to need to develop in order to be able to achieve those goals? When you can find out those specific skills that you'll need, you'll be extremely successful. Now, the third question comes down to, what knowledge would I need to acquire in order to achieve my goals? You know, there's a great saying by Einstein which goes like this: one cannot solve a problem with the same mindset that it took to create the problem, right? So in order to move forward, in order to evolve in life, you have to be able to build new amounts of knowledge. You continuously have to develop on a daily basis. Something that I teach every single one of our students in Project X is every single day is a school day, and your business will never grow more than you can. Now, what exactly does that mean, right? If you take yourself as an individual right now, let's use the example of someone coming through to the gym again. Let's just say you want to gain bigger biceps, and all you do every single day is the bicep curl. You don't focus on any other muscle except the bicep curl, right? Because you don't know any other exercises. What do you think is going to happen? Sure, the peak of your bicep might develop, but nothing else, right? The tricep won't develop, the arm won't grow at all. The only thing that you'll work on is the peak of the bicep. So then when you look at the progress that you've made over a given period of time, you'll be disappointed because you've put in so much work, but you haven't got the outcome that you expected, right? And that's because you don't have the knowledge in order to move forward. But the moment you start educating yourself, the moment you start learning, the moment you start working on yourself, guess what will happen? It's like a ripple effect that will take effect on every other thing in your life. So your business will automatically grow. Here's another example pertaining to you specifically in business, digital advertising as well. So many times I find so many fitness professionals saying that, we started a website, but we don't get any traffic at all. Why do you think that's the case? Because you don't have the knowledge behind a website. You think that just having a website on Google is going to bring you leads, it's going to bring you clients. It doesn't work that way at all, because we need to understand the basis of having a great website. How do we run traffic to a website? What converts in a website? That's knowledge. But without learning about that, without educating yourself about that, you'll never know about that, right? And therefore your business will continuously just stay on Google like a house without an address. People won't even know where to find it. Like if I told you right now, you can find me in Istanbul. Sure, you could take a flight and come right over, but you'd never know where to find me unless I gave you a very specific address. And that's exactly what happens when I give you the knowledge, right? Now you know exactly how to do what you're trying to do, which is find me. And knowledge is the precursor to experience. So in order to develop skill, we need knowledge. But you see how we move, right? We move from seeing the skill sets that we need, and then once we identify that, we can work on the knowledge that it's going to take in order to develop those skills. Educate yourself, your business, and your life will grow further than you can imagine. And now, let's move on to question number 4. Question number 4 comes down to, where do you want to be at the end of this year? So you really need to look at your life. You need to look at your goals. And I don't mean just looking at the things you wrote on paper. Put emotion behind it. If you want, I'll attach a very specific video in the link in the description below, right, that you can use for goal planning. Go ahead and use that. Put emotion and purpose behind your goals so you know exactly what it takes to achieve those goals with 100% predictability. But when you actually set out to achieve something, you want to know where you want to get, right? So you don't jump in a car and then just start driving and drive. It doesn't work like that. You start driving with an objective of getting to a destination at the end of the day. So when we look at 31 December 2022, ask yourself the question, where do I want to be? Because the moment you are crystal clear about where it is that you want to be on the 31st of December, in your life, in your business, in your finances, your relationship, your health, whatever it might be, you will automatically build a neural pathway in your mind that will help you achieve that, because now you've brought that into your reality, right? The subconscious and the basal ganglia automatically starts attracting that because you know what you want. So many times people set goals, but they don't really know what they want. So they just write things down on paper, but they don't have a real result at the end of the day that they're looking to achieve. And this is extremely important. It's one of the most simplest things to understand, but so many people fail to do that. So really sit down with yourself and ask yourself the simple question, where do I want to be on the 31st of December 2022? When you can come up with an answer to that, everything else, the questions that I've asked previously, will automatically fall into place. And then question number 5 pertains to a magical number, right? So where or how exactly are you going to measure success, exactly measure success at the end of this year? So I don't just want to say, I want to lose weight, or I want to build muscle, or I want to become a millionaire, right? What's that exact number that it's going to take? So I want to make $2 million at the end of the year. I want to lose 100 pounds by the end of the year. I want to bulk up and add 50 pounds of muscle at the end of the year. You need to be precise. We need to be able to measure things with metrics, especially in business. If you want to start advertising, right? I want to be spending $1,500 or $2,000 by the end of this year. you put a date to it and an exact number. So now you can measure your success from day one when you start out to achieve that goal. And at the end of the year, you could see how your metrics have been putting in place to whether you've achieved it or not. And because you've also set a goal of where you want to be at the end of the year, right? Throughout the year, you could go back and do retrospect, look at exactly where you are, and are you moving closer to that metric or not? It's so simple, but so many fitness professionals fail to do this. They fail to realize the importance of setting these specific metrics, because without being specific, you will never achieve. So this is the next thing that you need to do. Think about the specific number, be it in your business, whatever, your health. Here we're specifically speaking about business. So you can talk about an income. You can talk about how much you want to be spending, how many books you want to be reading, how much you actually want to grow as a business owner, an entrepreneur, a fitness professional, whoever you are. What is it going to take? What's that magical number? And how are you going to achieve it? Which now brings me to my very last question, which is, what do you want to be known for in the next 10 years? Now, this is really important, and the moment you can do this, your life becomes simpler and you can achieve much better. Now, the reason we go ahead and we look 10 years in advance, right, is because we want to know, do you want to leave a footprint in the world? What do you want people to remember you for? What exactly is it that you're trying to achieve, trying to solve? What exactly is it that you're trying to do, right, with your life, with your business, and with your career? Because the most important thing that you must remember is businesses solve real problems. And that's how you gain success in business, by solving real problems that people have. And guess what happens? You become extremely successful. But you don't start out by, doing crazy things, developing crazy ideas. You start off with a problem, understanding a problem, or finding a cause that you're passionate about, and then going ahead and working towards changing that. So ask yourself, where do you want to be in the next 10 years? This is extremely important to do because it helps you look forward into the future, understand what it is you're trying to achieve, and then come back and build the steps and the bridges that it's going to take to get to that exact point in time, right? So if you want to be known as a great trainer that has helped 1 million kids come past dyslexia, or 1 million kids come past their body dysmorphia, or whatever it might be, then you need to actually state that and put emotion behind it so you know that you're working for a bigger purpose at the end of the day. Because when Steve Jobs built Apple, he didn't just build Apple looking to build the best computer company or the best technology company. No, he built Apple with one single vision in mind: to deliver the absolute best product for the consumer, making technology as simple as possible, but at the same time making it user-friendly so that anyone under the sun could be able to use it, right? Everything else falls in place after you know exactly what you're trying to achieve in the long run. So look at your business and understand that. Don't just view yourself as a fitness coach or a personal trainer or a yoga instructor and think small. You need to think big. You need to take your goals and make them bigger than life in order to be able to achieve at that level. Because that is what business is about. You as a business owner have a responsibility to go out into your community and to solve the problems that people are having, or solve the problems that people need solving, right? You have the skill set in order to be able to do that, so go out there and do it. It's your moral obligation to help others achieve. The moment you can help other people, you'll be able to be extremely successful. Now, I want you to take these 6 questions, work on them. You'll find them in the description below as well. Think about those goals, think about the skills, think about the knowledge, think about everything that I've spoken about. Rewatch the video if you need to as well, and then go ahead and plan your year out. And I can guarantee you, when you watch the next video of mine, or the very last video of mine, should I say, on the 31st of December 2022, you'll be so glad that you took these action steps, that you actually went ahead and planned exactly as I mentioned right now, and you'll see how your life will change. You have absolutely nothing to lose at all. Now, for those of you that actually, are serious about success, and most of you watching this are, you want to be able to grow, and you want to grow at a rapid rate as well, right? Now, the most easiest place to do that, when we look at long-term success as well, is to start where you currently are. Now, every single one of you, provided you're in a country that doesn't have any restrictions, have an influx of clients coming into your gym at this moment in time. But you and I both know, as I mentioned at the very beginning of this video, that within the first 90 days, most of those clients are going to fall out, right? But what happens if they didn't fall out? What happens if you could keep those clients with you right up until the 31st of December 2020? 2022, and then they're begging you to sign new contracts moving into 2023. How would your life change? How would your business change? How would your finances change in your life being more predictable and more stable? Great. I absolutely know that, right? So in order to move forward at a faster rate with the help of a professional that has done exactly what you're doing and where you want to get to, I have created a masterclass that's going to help you retain each and every single one of these clients that you're getting in the very beginning of this year. Moving forward for the year ahead, 2 years ahead, 3 years ahead, it doesn't matter. Guess what that's going to do for you? More predictability in your business, more financial freedom, more money to invest in knowledge, more money to invest in education that's going to help you and your business move forward. So I'll attach a link for that as well in the description below. Click on that and it's a massive discount of 75% off for the new year, right? So I know that will be a huge help to you as well. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video next week.